checking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnop.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vine, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got a spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite.
Warming up the days and the nights. It's cold. Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's Tuesday here on the program, and it is, hang on. It's 3 degrees in Reiner. It feels like -4. Hey, we may get up to a blistering high today of 27. Hit us up on the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. We'd love to hear from you. A lot of folks are there already. Professional Door Incorporated text line, 540-391-0788. Marva joins us in Miami. The BDST theme song now up to number 16 on all the charts. Very proud of that, working our way toward the top 10. So Marva joins us. We're going to have Brian Seigla from the Boundary Quarter podcast and Mike Burnop today on a Tuesday. Oh, I meant to send a picture, which I didn't do for whatever reason. See if I can take care of that here without knocking myself off the air. There we go. Wanted it to play through today. How's everybody doing? Good morning, everybody in chat. Let's go through. Roll call. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Chris Lester. Good morning. Jarchoco. Good morning, TLB. It's 2 where you are. You got me, well, I don't know if you got me beat. I've got you beat by 1. From the Palm Coast beaches and watching the Dolphins spew it out of their blowhole. kind of like what I do here on a daily basis. To the mountains of Southwest Virginia, where no one dares to step outside for a morning stroll. BDST is live. Oh, I'll tell you one guy who was out there taking a morning stroll. That's right, because he just came in. It was the Creed. That's right. Not the most intelligent dude in the world sometimes, but he had to get out there. And today wasn't really, a hunting day, but he is he's an outdoor restroom kitty. How's that? Does that sound good? He's an outdoor restroom kitty. He will not use the box. He doesn't like to unless it's an absolute emergency. He's one of nature. You cannot see him, but he's sitting right across from me right now, looking outside in the dark in the 3 degrees, thinking, I can do this. I can beat this. You just got to give me a chance, Dad. Got to give me a chance. So yeah, it's very cold, very cold. I hope everybody, by the way, was able to keep your power, and that's the main thing. Such a burden, I know, here, just to think about, in the past I've had issues where power has been a major factor. And I'm glad I didn't hear too many reports here from our peeps or locally. And I hope I'm not speaking out of line, but I hope everybody was able to stay on so you're not freezing and so forth. I saw some just terrible, and I mean terrible, video footage from, I think it was Mississippi, down through the Delta. And they had nothing but freezing rain. So they had about two inches or more freezing rain. And folks were taking pictures of forests that were completely obliterated. Power out absolutely everywhere. So, in a lot of ways, we were very fortunate here for the most part, right? Although I'm sure it's not the same for everybody. But that's, it just makes you realize that even though it's not great weather-wise here, and we're in a bad part of the time of the year, that you always have something to be thankful for. And in this instance, it is 100% due to the fact that, we're able to at least be warm. And I'm trying to get something loaded here, which I should have had done, but I did not do. And now I'm trying to get it done here at the last second. Radford University out today. All schools are closed once again. I'm assuming things will resume tomorrow. By the way, mega kudos to the road crews, all the folks who are out there. Outstanding. Outstanding. So thank you. Thanks to all you folks. Just incredible. Just incredible. Now, here he comes now. There you go. You see him? There you go. Okay. But the road crews did a great job. We were out yesterday. Hello from New Zealand. Hello, Ted M. 7056. We've had, I believe, 13 now. I've been writing them down. 13 different countries represented watching BDST. It's awesome. Steven, I don't know. I'm getting there. Yeah, he is a beast. Balboa Creed's a beast. There's no question. He's mine, but he is. He's a different cat. Get it? Good morning, Opal. How are you? Balboa Creed says hello. What's up, Big Al? May in the Super Bowl reaching his potential now that he's out from under. Matlock Brown. Yeah, and he's just getting started. Let's say they lose to Seattle. Someone will ask him the question. He's in year 2, just like Dan Marino was in year 2 when the 49ers beat him. And Dan Marino was asked the question, how does it feel to get here and not win? He goes, well, it's disappointing. It's my second year, though. I expect to be here many times and come out on the other side of the scoreboard. And he never got back. TLB says he kept water faucets dripping on. I know a lot of people that did that. Thanks, Chris. Had Theraflu for the first time yesterday. That stuff actually works pretty good. Yeah, I did. I don't know what was going on there, Opal. Somebody did send me that. Yeah, there was a mega brawl at the Narrows Craig County basketball game last week. What was that about? Does anybody know? Oh, by the way, Marty and Rags on Thursday. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Marty Smith and Steve Ragsdale back with us Thursday from 7 to 8. So, and that'll be the last show of the week because I'll be on the road Friday. So, I'll be on the road all day Thursday, all by myself. But, yeah, so Marty and Rags on Thursday. And that's exactly what I was downloading, Morris. There you go, folks. Read it and weep. There's your 2026 Virginia Tech football schedule. Sans JMU. Dates, no times assigned. But there's your dates and your opponents. And from a home perspective, nothing really riveting. VMI, which we've already talked about. Old Dominion. I'm just going over home games right now. Pittsburgh on the 2nd. That's a Friday. Sorry, buddy. Georgia Tech on the 17th. Stanford and Virginia. So there you go. Your thoughts. People are giving their record and all that. Okay, Opal. Opal says, depends on which side you ask. That's probably good. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of the situation, so I can't sit here and comment on it. I don't know what that was all about. It looked terrible. If there were administrators that were egging it on, which one person, this is why I love the text line, people were sending me some tidbits that if there were administrators involved, they shouldn't have jobs today. I mean, it's high school basketball. Come on. Well, come on, Chris. You got to get out the cow, man. Maybe we can hook you up, Chris, with Big Al. Big Al's he's getting close to 400 straight games that he's gone to, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But, people immediately have asked for my record prediction. I don't know what Tech's going to look like yet. I want to wait till the spring. I'll maintain how disappointed I am that VMI is on there, not JMU. I think they tried to spin that for a while. Now they just let it go, hoping people will just let it go. I don't know what Old Dominion's going to look like yet with Ricky Ronnie. He's going to have a lot of new players, new quarterback. I haven't kept up with their class. Maryland is a Big Ten road game. Won't be a gimme, but we'll see. Chestnut Hill at BC, they weren't very good at all last year. Narduzzi does a great job at Pitt. I don't know what they kept and what they lost throughout. I mean, there's just so much. So I'm not going to give a record prediction. Anytime you go out west, Tech handled it last year because Stanford was so bad. They got to go to Cal. Cal's got a new coaching staff. And Georgia Tech doesn't have Haynes King. What will they look like middle of the year? It's never easy to go to Death Valley. It's not easy to go to SMU. Stanford coming to Tech. Again, team traveling 3,000 miles, new coaching staff. You wouldn't expect them to have a lot of success. In Miami, going to Miami, what will they look like without Beck and company? And then Virginia. So there you go. And I wanted to have that ready for you. I wish there was a better way to display that. Yeah. The side by side. There we go. I could do that. Let's do that. So your thoughts. It's not overly daunting when you look at it. I like the fact that it's 6-6 in terms of home and away. And we'll see what the record ends up being. It's just hard to say until these teams get through spring ball. VMI will be a win. I mean, that's the only one you can look at right now and say for sure, hey, yeah, that's going to be a dub. VMI's an FCS school, brand new coaching staff. Heck, I think Tech has 3 of the former coaching staff on their current coaching staff. Old Dominion's going to be well coached. And then Maryland was, I don't know off the top of my head. What was Maryland's record last year? Anybody know? I mean, I know it wasn't good. Let's see here. I don't remember what they finished last year. Maryland was 4-8. They lost their last 8 games. Ooh. And, that's not good. And by the looks of the scores, they didn't play any close games. They lost at UCLA by 3. That was the closest game. Nebraska by 3. But, again, they will look new as well. And, that is going to be a big year for that coaching staff. And Tech gets them early. So you would think that would be, an opportunity for them to maybe get a win, right? Man, I didn't realize they lost all 8 of their games. But there you have it. That's your schedule. And again, you don't know. A lot of people are immediately assuming that this team is going to immediately come out and be, I don't know how else to say this, like a team like some of Franklin's Penn State teams with the players coming in. But this is where now the real work begins, getting players here. We'll ask Mike Burnop about the schedule too, obviously. Brian Seigla. We'll bring all this back. But this is where where am I? There I am. To get everybody ready and on the same page. Some of the things that I don't know get thought about enough, that you think about what coaching staffs have to do now, especially in the portal and so forth. No, it's not TLB. It's not a good look. But hey, I got yelled at by some Tech fans saying I didn't understand. No, I think I have pretty good understanding. But now comes the work, right? Because you got to get guys here. You don't have a lot of time to vet their personalities as much as you would like, because you're trying to outdo schools who also have money offers on the table. Exactly, Chris. That's what I'm going to do. I just want to wait. Not going to do any of that. We'll start to read up a little bit about these other teams and see how things are. You just don't know. And this is where you have to wait. And this is where guys like Phil Steele have to really – he always earned his money, but now he's got to get on the ground. Like, for instance, he always likes to start his preseason mag even before the last season is over, and you can't do that anymore. Like, he has to wait until after the portal. So he's going to be extremely busy. And when we get him back on, it'll be very interesting to talk to him about that. Because you don't know. Look, we have no idea what Virginia Tech's going to look like. We know they'll get a boost of confidence in VMI. That's why the schedule was left as it was. But then after that, I don't know. And we're just coming out of, the season. So I don't really have I'm kind of glad college football's over for a while. Trying to get away from all of it, the whole thing. Tired of the system, tired of the constant lies, tired of everything. Tired of the money conversation. Did you see Rutgers yesterday? What they issued out? Now here's what, and I've been telling people this and talking to people, Big Ten guy who works at one of the most wealthy schools in the country. When they say things are unsustainable for much longer. All right, so here you go. Now, a lot of this, granted, could be mismanagement. But Rutgers released yesterday. This is a team in the Big Ten. They are $78 million in debt. $78 million in debt. And then what blew me away, they joined the Big Ten back in 2014. Their athletics deficit is $517 million. And they have raised student fees. They have raised money from, taxpayers in New Jersey. How about that? Now, again, a lot of this can be on Rutgers themselves. It sounds like they don't have a very in-tuned administration. So what are they spending on to get in that much trouble? I don't know. I don't know the answer. But you see, the only reason they were accepted into Big Ten was because of their TV market. The Big Ten wanted to be a coast-to-coast league, which now it is, with Rutgers and Maryland and with UCLA, USC, Oregon, and Washington. And Rutgers had to just be all over themselves when the possibility came their way that they would be invited to the Big Ten. That's going to cure all of our financial woes. But the answer is no, it does not. Should have called today's show Big Dog Sports Talk and cough. My apologies. But the more I talk, the more the tickle gets going. So, yeah, that should be pretty sobering right there. More money coming in to all these athletic departments because of their TV deals in particular, but yet here is one, at least it was singled out yesterday. It might be an anomaly. It might just be at Rutgers. It might just be their problem. If you're having money issues in a department, well, the fish rots from the head. Then you need to look at the people that are in charge of that department. What are they spending on? What are they doing with the TV cut? I don't know the answer. I would think there'd be some board members for that school, very prestigious university in the Northeast, that would have a lot of questions when they saw that report come out. Because a lot of times the board doesn't know things until they meet with the athletic director or the president. They don't know because these are people that have regular jobs for the most part. Or they're retired. They're not around the university all the time. They come in for meetings and they keep abreast of things, but they only usually know or have time to know what they're told. So I would think that report probably has some emergency meetings coming up in the near future. Yes, they did, Morris. Rutgers played in the first college football game, 1869 against Princeton. Rutgers and Princeton. Boy, I bet that was a barn burner. I'm going to guess Princeton won. Who won the game, Morris? College football originated isn't it amazing? College football really originated in the Northeast. And now, in the Northeast, they don't care anything about college football. It all trickled south and westward after that. But that's where your bigger cities were, obviously, and that's where the population kind of dictated the creation of things like American football at the time. Ooh, Rutgers, look at that, a big bad 6-4 win. That was a barn burner. I wonder if touchdowns were counted as one. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if that was, in actuality, I wonder if that was a 36-24 game. I don't know if they kicked extra points then or not. Yeah, that was a barn burner. So they're dealing with that, and we'll see if anybody follows up with that, maybe ask some questions. I would think schools in the Big Ten have to be wondering too. Jarrett Stidham's great-great-great-grandpa was quarterback. No, that's true, TLB. It's a great point. Did you ever think a time would come when you would ever say and mean it that you're glad college football season's over? No, and I am. Absolutely. The whole thing's it's a mess. It's embarrassing. And that's why I have put it out there. How much are you still going to care in the long run? The ones who have to pay for a lot of this, that are dedicated to pay for a lot of this. So yeah, it is. I'm glad it's over. I'm sick of I don't want to watch any of it, but all the talking heads, all the answers that feed the machine. It's just, we're in a bad place. It doesn't show up for a lot of schools right now, but we're in a bad place. We're in a bad place. And This is how screwed up it is. Everybody who you see talk about it and the people we've had here on the program will also say that even though things are so messed up, they don't see any changes coming in the next 2 or 3 years because there's no leadership. And when you have an organization with no leadership or with leaders that nobody respects because they know what their personal motivations are, nothing gets done. I don't know if he's an all-pro, Wayne, but he did get at it. Who cares? There's nothing more pointless than the NFL postseason all-star game. Don't care. People are going to pull out. It's a stupid flag football game. Why would anybody who's a veteran want to be there to play in it unless you're a young guy? Right? I mean, who cares? It's just stupid. I mean, the players' union won that battle. Doesn't mean a thing. Does not mean a thing. Being an all-pro now doesn't really mean a thing. Stop buying tickets and merch, but that's the problem, TLB. People will not. People will not. Look at Tech Fan. Tech Fan is so enamored with James Franklin that they've forgotten everything else that's going on with college sports. They don't care. They can't wait. Not that I'm blaming them, but I'm just saying using them as an example because that's the power school right here in our backyard. Nobody's going to stop doing any of that stuff, which is why it's going to continue. They know, and we've talked about this a lot, we as fans never say no. And they know that we can't say no. Donations are coming in now over at Tech. People, I'm sure, are looking at the new season ticket prices and they don't care. They're renewing. So there won't be any change until they're forced to change and when the revenue slows down. But I don't know when the revenue is going to slow down. Wayne says, because we will be down to 48 teams in 2 mega conferences. Yep. And I think everybody knows where it's heading. Like I get the impression from talking to Big Ten guy that the Big Ten and the SEC already know exactly what it's going to look like. They just can't implement it. Hokey Rock says, yeah, they dropped a game but kept the price the same for season tickets. They did, huh? Nothing raised. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear that they didn't raise season tickets. I wouldn't have either with that home schedule. Yeah, older houses, yeah, especially older houses, you have to leave the drain kind of dripping. And not here, but I'm just saying in older houses because there's a lot of older structures in Blacksburg and in Christiansburg and so forth. The little slow drip. Oh, one less game paid for? Okay, I got you. Oh, okay. So they had 7. That's right, because they got rid of okay. So no refunds. So that's not a good thing. So wait a minute. So people had already paid for 7 home games? I don't keep up with Tech football season ticket deals. So what do we – so in other words, you had bought if those of you that have season tickets, you paid for 7 and they didn't refund the game? Really? All right, so that's not good. That's not good. Okay, thanks, Hokey Rocks. Okay, so that's bad. That's bad. What's up, Prometheus? Didn't see you in here yesterday. My older house insulation is not good. I have to supplement heat when it gets double digit. Yeah. This is just so dangerously cold. It's just so terrible. This serves nothing. Really? So you renew 10 years in advance? Okay. Or almost a year in advance. I was going to say Wayne's being facetious. So couldn't there be some kind of written campaign by season ticket holders to say, okay, we paid for 7, where's our money? How are they just keeping the money? Has anyone asked the question? Did they send out a release? I don't know the answer. That doesn't sound like that's good business. And if all that is accurate, it kind of tells you what Virginia Tech, the administration, thinks about you as the fans. Ooh. So they want you to continue to contribute to support. So they throw in a flat fee that you agree to pay, and then they take a game away, so they feel like they're off the hook. Okay. Gotcha. Well, that would not make me happy if I'm a season ticket holder, because they know Tech fan loves the new moves and they will eat it. Yeah, it's just what we're talking about, because the customer will not say no. Customers always had control. Fans have always been the ones to get the money chain going, not just in person with tickets and merch, but also the ones who watch on TV that create ratings so they can go out and sell these high dollar contracts to advertisers. Why does the NFL not care about the backlash of their musical choices for this year's Super Bowl? Because they know they're going to have a worldwide audience of over 1 billion. Even though it's not necessarily a marquee matchup anymore with a Tom Brady-less Patriots team against really kind of a no-name Seahawks team. Because they know people will watch. I may not be at all. I don't think I will. Like, I really have no interest in the Super Bowl. Zero interest. Oh, is that at 8 o'clock tonight? So, Wayne, look at that. This is why we have a great family community here on the program. Wayne is offering 2 tickets to his Georgia Tech, to the Tech Georgia Tech game tonight at 8. So if anybody wants to go, just hit Wayne up in chat, and then you guys can communicate. Or you can send me your information, and I will make sure you guys get it, so that way you're not posting it for public consumption here. Very nice of you, Wayne. Very, very nice of you. That's why we have the best audience on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and share as we inch our way toward 800. Georgia Tech's not very good, are they? What is today? Tuesday? 11-9. Tech is 9.5-point favorites. So they should be okay. You would think. Prometheus says he stopped watching the NFL. I'll catch the fourth quarter sometimes or the condensed version the next day. I can't suffer through 4 hours of an NFL game in 2026. The product is bad. The ratings, though, are higher than they've ever been. The ratings are up on all broadcast and streaming platforms like 15%. It's just nothing but dollars coming in. The NFL is well on its way to becoming a $1 trillion industry, which is why you see them doing nothing to change anything. The only changes the NFL will make will be to placate their own political alliances. They will not do anything to fix officials. They won't do anything to fix the rules that are kind of strange. They can't even identify what the hell a catch is. Goes back to what I'm saying. The fans keep coming back. Yeah, that works, Marva. Marva is going to join us at 6:50. I know all about the flu too. He says her little guy's got the flu. I know one thing. This thing has completely kicked my tail. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I still got the driveway shovel. Had to do some shoveling yesterday. Martin rags on Thursday, by the way. Joseph says, no classes at Tech yesterday and today. I saw a student riding a mattress down a hill. Good for them. Good for them. Wayne says, I hope we have a Snoop Dogg broadcast on some streaming or SpongeBob version of the Super Bowl. And when did they start doing that? They started doing that a few years ago, didn't they? Because CBS, depends on which network has it, Wayne. And y'all, because we are family, I am just emitting all of the factions that remain of my current physical state with you on the air, just like we were family. If we were sitting around in a room before Thanksgiving dinner, if you had a cold, you'd blow your nose, or you'd have to cough, you'd cough. So it's the way I'm looking at it. Again, I don't feel nearly as bad as I sound. Yeah, I wouldn't Prometheus. He has a construction job today going in at 9. Yeah, that might warm it up to about 5 degrees, Prometheus. Let me see what we got. Well, hell, Christopher, you got us beat. Let's all go to Christopher's house. He's got 21 degrees in Hampton Roads right now. If you wait till 9, Prometheus, it'll be 9. But look at the week. All the way through next Monday. The lows, 11 tomorrow night, 8 Thursday, 11 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 1 next Sunday morning. The high next Saturday is 12 degrees. The high on that Sunday is 17 degrees. And that's when February kicks in. Crazy, just crazy. All right, so I've gotten 6 messages on our professional door text line. What's my prediction on the Tech football schedule? I'm not making one yet. It's pointless. It's completely and utterly pointless. How do teams come together? What do they look like when they're here? What kind of inevitable injuries happen? You don't want those things to happen, but it always seems to. Yeah, I mean, I have zero plans to watch the Super Bowl. When I say that, I mean, I say that. You know what I'm thinking about watching, Wayne? I really, really liked. Remember the original Spider-Man trilogy with Sam Raimi? Tobey Maguire, he was the best by far of all the Spider-Mans. I'm thinking about watching all three of those movies. The third one's not so good. Yeah, the dreaded global warming. How does Bigfoot deal with such temps? Well, yeah, but that, I don't know who that was as Spider-Man. And that was animated anyway, wasn't it? Electric Company. I remember the Electric Company. Morgan Freeman got his start on the Electric Company. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here. Thanks to Jason. 540-200-8294. Mark Hunley and McClellan Chiropractic. 155 Walters Drive, Northwest. Email him at drmarkhundley, HUNDLEY.com. Right there in Christiansburg. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. Give James a call at 540-381-8011. They're on 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Going to try to get Jonathan Sweet on the show tomorrow from Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. The presenting sponsor of everyone here on the show, of yours truly. Don't forget, it's game time at the Super Bowl. You can call to reserve your lane and time, 540-382-5525. It's $100 per lane up to 8 bowlers. So you can do that. You get shoes, pizza, 20 wings, and 2 pitchers of soda. That's on Sunday, February 8th, Super Bowl Sunday. Y'all need to get over there and do that. Thanks to Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. If you want a t-shirt, hit me up, DM me, or send me a text message. Ryan Pry, the attorney, our BDST fan question of the week. And we're doing Super Bowl food fair. Wings winning right now. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST, thanks to Larry Ramsey. Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated, residential and commercial garage doors, owned and operated 38 years in business. And the Ready Set Fund. Sorry, gang. I warned you. I sound like Marva's son right now. The Ready Set Fund. ReadySetFund.com. That's BobChrist11 at gmail.com. So there you go. There you go. I have no idea what streaming device the service Super Bowl is on. Prometheus says it'll handle the cold, thick hide, and a lot of fur. Yes. Happy birthday belatedly to you. Happy belated birthday to you. What's up, Marva? Happy birthday.
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for that, especially when I know you're under the weather. I appreciate it. as I texted you this morning, my son has the flu.
Oh, how's he
Yeah,
doing? Is he hanging in there?
Well, the first indication that something was wrong came Friday after school. He wanted to go to bed early.
Ooh.
And that's just not normal. He's 8 years old. He never wants to go to bed early.
No.
And then the next day he was just sleeping. Like he got out of bed and then came to the couch and he started sleeping on the couch and he just wasn't acting like himself and just so lethargic. And then I said, let me check his temperature. What's happening? And his temperature was pretty high. I ended up taking him to an urgent care and his temperature was 103.
Hey, that's
Okay.
that's the way I was when I got home Friday night from doing the Radford game last week.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, they wouldn't even let us go home until it went down a little bit. They said, you guys have to stay here. So, they did the whole thing, testing for everything, flu, strep throat, COVID, and he came back positive for flu A. So that's what we're dealing with. And they said he has to be home for at least 3 days from school. But yesterday he did start to seem a little bit better, still not quite himself, but I am hoping that in a few days everything will be fine and he can return to school because it was just bad. I mean, you just don't see a little kid like that. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to play. He didn't want to watch TV. Didn't want to do anything. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, Mom, I don't want any of your brownies. No,
he didn't. No, that was it. I offered him some chocolate. He didn't want. He turned it down. So I knew something very serious was going on.
I got to get him, honey. We're going to the hospital right now.
Yeah, something weird. So I'm glad I listened to my mommy instincts because we have a thermometer here, like everybody does, but it kept saying his temperature was normal. Clearly, we now know that's broken. Because I was like, no, he feels really warm. And I was like, he's fine. He's just got a cold. Like, no, something's wrong.
Can they not make a good thermometer for home use? I agree with you.
I never had one that you point at the head and you just press the button.
Oh, those are terrible.
And they said don't buy those. They said those are terrible. You really got to get the old fashioned. You actually put it in their mouth or you put it under the arm. They said those things you point at your head, they're so inaccurate.
Yeah, the whole scrape. Yeah, what are we doing? Or the ones I liked were the ones in the ear. Those worked.
Oh, I haven't seen those, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Just pointing at your head, no, because it kept saying he had a normal temperature, everything was fine, and I'm just like, no, he doesn't look fine. He doesn't feel fine.
True. Very true. Yeah. Very true. What's the temperature right now in Miami?
Right now, it is actually chilly here this morning. It's 49, okay? And it says it feels like temperature of 37. This is so cold for us, and it's so different from just yesterday. It was 79, okay? So we are finally starting to get this big chill that everybody else is getting, and I don't like it, okay? For the next few days, it's supposed to be cold here, and it just doesn't feel right. It's similar to that, yes.
You see that, Marva? 3.
Yeah, I said it's similar, okay? Like I said, it is 49, and it feels like 37. That's why I'm wearing this. I didn't want to wear this today. I wanted to break out the Jordan jersey today because Carolina's been doing so well. That big win over Virginia on
I like
Saturday.
the Jordan jersey. Yeah, the Jordan jersey looks great on you.
I'm like, well, I got to put on a sweater because it's cold. I don't like this. I have like 3 sweaters, okay?
What's your high today? What's your high later?
Oh, the high.
Let's say around 2:00.
66.
Yeah. You could add up all of our high temperatures for the next 7 days. It wouldn't go up to 66.
But I just want you to feel my pain down here and appreciate when I'm.
Oh, I do. I hate. I
don't have much clothes.
I hate when you have to deal with sweater weather. I can't stand it.
I don't like it. I'm supposed to be wearing a t-shirt. I do have on flip-flops right now though because it's the official footwear of Miami.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. You can't walk around Miami like in tube socks.
But people will have parkas on today. Because my son's not going to school today. And I work from home, so I won't be going out today. But if I did go out, you will see people in parkas. My daughter actually wore a sweater to school on top of her shirt. So she has a short sleeve shirt, but she did throw a sweater on top of it, like a cardigan. So she knew it was going to be cold this morning.
Well, let's go. And is she going to have your height? Because Marva, what are you, 6'2"?
I think so. She's we're looking eye to eye pretty much. I don't like that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a story then right there.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Marva's actually like 4'6", something like that.
That is not true. That is not true. I was a very big athlete, as you know. I played volleyball, and
I know this.
I could have gone to the Olympics if I had tried.
I
to
really
focus
believe
on
that. I know.
Yeah.
You've told me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those heels.
Okay. So
up and down.
heels.
The way conference ball goes, it's up and down. It's,
Yeah. And of course, everybody's freaking out. I mean, Carolina had an awful road trip out west.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 ugly losses, and people are freaking out. And I get it. I didn't like it either. Carolina then comes home and beats up on Notre Dame. But, it's just Notre Dame. They're not very good this year, okay?
No,
I get people saying not being excited about that. But the real test came in Charlottesville on Saturday. Carolina was going up against a very good UVA team. And I had heard they were good, but honestly, I hadn't watched them that much. So I didn't realize. First half, they were giving Carolina everything they could handle. I mean, at one point, the Tar Heels were down 16 points. It was not looking good. But towards the end of that first half, Carolina made a couple threes and, had some key defensive plays and just looked like they had a lot more fire and they were coming back. And it proved to be the difference. Second half was completely different from the first. Carolina came out of that one with a 5-point win, which big victory because, again, UVA has some very good players. I mean, they're playing with a different style, different energy, and
Take me through the comeback. What happened?
Well, Jaron Stevenson happened. Jaron Stevenson came in for Henry Vasar, who was he kind of had an off game. All season long, it's been Henry Vasar and Caleb Wilson for the Tar Heels, right? Great presence down low. But for some reason, Vasar was kind of off. And so Vasar was replaced by Jaron Stevenson. And Jaron Stevenson just came in there and made 3 threes, okay? He was, making UVA extend their defense out. He made 3 threes. He made some very key defensive plays as well. And he just was a real spark for the team. And he's had flashes like this in the past, but not where he just kind of said he took over. And I mean, Caleb Wilson was still doing Caleb Wilson things. I mean, he still got his points. He was still dishing out assists at a great clip, especially for a big guy like that. But I think Jaron Stevenson was a spark plug. Also, Carolina is starting to figure out the guard position. Last week when I was on, we talked about how Carolina just point guard just couldn't figure it out. Kean Evans wasn't really working out so well. And just kind of came in and was turning the ball over a lot, throwing the ball away, just to no one. You're like, who was that pass supposed to go to? What's going on? Decided to start Derek Dixon at point guard for the last couple of games, and it's really made a big difference. He seemed to really come in his own against UVA. I mean, he was doing a great job, and that Derek Dixon's play combined with Jaron Stevenson coming in and really knocking down shots, doing things to force UVA to alter their shots. And it was just an incredible comeback. I mean, I was supposed to go somewhere on Saturday, and I did go. I was just a little bit late because I was watching the game. The game got pushed up to noon because of the bad weather. And you know how they chalk in so many commercials. It was ridiculous. But I stayed to the very end because I wanted to make sure that comeback lasted, And it
ACC
did.
basketball games are ridiculous. Yeah.
A lot of commercials.
3.5-minute TV timeouts.
Yeah.
Every timeout.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah. But, I was just happy to see the win and see, because, when Carolina lost those games out on the West Coast so badly, of course, fans are chirping. I mean, and they hear this stuff. People are still saying they need to fire Hubert Davis. But I think even some of his critics, maybe not the harshest critics, because they still think he needs to be fired, but some of the criticism has gone away to say, oh, he's not making adjustments. But he clearly made adjustments in the second half of that game. And, the team responded. Because it's not always just on the coach, because players have to play. Players have to, do what they're being told to do. I mean, Carolina is still having issues at the free throw line. The average is still not where it should be. And I'm sure they're practicing those, but it's just, if they hit those, things would be different right now. But I mean, I'm not going to complain. Carolina's still performing well. overall. It still has a good record, still is ranked. Carolina jumped up. Right now, I just can't remember. They're like in the teens, I believe, or maybe they went down to 12. I don't remember, but they're still in a good place. It's not like the Matt Doherty season, people, because there are people like, Carolina's not even going to get to the tournament. And it's just, no, that's ridiculous. Let's be realistic here. I think the team's going to be fine. They don't play again until Saturday. They play Georgia Tech. So, not a game that should be so hard, right?
No, they're not very good. Georgia Tech's not.
Yeah, so just relax. I always say that to the fans, relax. I understand the concern after those 2 bad road losses. And then actually, if you add SMU, that was not in the same trip, but that was also not a good road loss.
No. Well, and this is what happens in conference play.
Yeah.
So,
everybody's gunning for you.
Yeah.
You're going to see everybody's best effort, and you have to get used to it. And that win at UVA, I think, was very helpful for them seeing, hey, we can take somebody's best shot. I mean, they were up 16, and it didn't look good. And Carol said, no, we're going to come back. We're going to do what we do. We're going to push the tempo again, play that inside-out game we're known for. We're going to do a little bit of trapping here and there at key spots. And they got a lot of turnovers off the trap. So I feel confident about where they are. I mean, I hate they have those losses, but it's a part of the game. Nobody thought they were going to go undefeated all season. I hope not, because that was just unrealistic. I think, we still have some undefeated teams, right? Do we? One? Maybe?
Duke? Is it Duke?
Duke's not undefeated. No.
Oh, you mean in ACC play? Yeah.
No, I just mean like even in
overall?
the country. Like I think there were 3, but I don't know if there's still 3 now. I don't know.
Let me see here.
But it's hard. It's very hard to do.
That'd be a good trivia question.
You need a Halls. Wow. I'm not doing a commercial. I'm not.
No, they don't work. Those
they help me. Like when
they never work. Arizona.
Okay.
Nebraska.
Okay.
And Miami, Ohio.
Yeah. But I mean, does anyone think that they're going to run the table all the season?
Wow. Arizona might. Arizona's good.
They're good, but still, I just think everybody eventually you might have an off night or something, and you just hope it happens before you go into tournament play.
Wow. Nebraska basketball's 20-0.
Indiana won the national football championship. Up is down, down is up, Rick.
Up is down, down is up.
Yeah, it's a wacky, weird time. We don't know.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
let's talk about your guy Drake May a little bit.
I know he's
on
going
the other end of that.
Drake Bowl.
I mean, he didn't play well, but the
weather.
He did enough. He didn't turn it over. He did not,
and he had been working on that because he had so many fumbles. And Rick, I'm so excited. I felt bad for you because I know you wanted your Broncos to make it, but they just came up against this this New England defense, and had.
I think the outcome would have been a little different if Bo Nix had played.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's probably a safe assumption.
I mean, maybe. I mean.
I guarantee you that turnover doesn't happen. That was the only touchdown New England scored.
Yeah, that was tough. I did. Honestly, I thought of you at that moment. I almost texted you, but I decided to just let you have your moment.
Yeah.
So I did. But yeah, I mean, I think Drake could pull this off. I really do.
You don't know. I know from a Broncos perspective, if they would have won that game, I don't think they could have beaten the Rams or the Seahawks without the quarterback. I mean, it's the quarterback. Right. It's the most important position. It's the most important. It's the only position that you have, I don't think they could have won the game. I'd much rather lose the AFC title game than the Super Bowl. I don't want to lose another Super Bowl.
It hurts less, right?
Yeah, I've already lost 5 as a Broncos fan. I don't want to lose any more Super Bowls. So
yeah. So you're okay. I'm glad. And so you're going to be pulling for Drake.
I usually pull for the AFC, unless it's the Chiefs. I will not pull for the Chiefs. The Raiders, I'd have a hard time pulling for the Raiders. And I never pull.
I didn't pull Drake. You love Drake.
I do love the Drake. You and I have been on the Drake since he was a junior.
Have you seen the T-shirts? They're just plain black T-shirts, and it says "I love Drake May" with the red heart. And I was like, "Oh, I got to get one of those." And my husband thought it was weird. He's like, "No, you shouldn't."
They need to get some kind of deal with the Seinfeld producers, NBC, and have because the Drake was a big character on Seinfeld. Well, not a big character, but a reoccurring character from time to time. I don't think they ever showed the Drake. They just talked about it.
Well, I mean, I just think it's interesting, and I love the way New England has embraced him and the fans. Like, they've been so good to him and good to his wife. Drake recently got married. Like, I guess it was maybe in the off season he got married, and it's such a nice story. He and his wife have been together since they were in middle school. As they started, they were like a cute little kid couple in middle school, and they've stayed together all that time. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, if it ends up lasting, that's great. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see what he does, and just that he's got a chance, and he's, I've seen extended interviews with him. He always says the right thing. He's always working on it.
No, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He is. He's a good dude. Chris Lester says the Patriots are going to get boat raced. They might. I mean, yeah,
it might happen. I mean, I just think they have, Drake is improving on the mistakes that he's making as a young player. He is a smart player. He doesn't mind giving up his body. I mean, I hope he doesn't do that too much. I don't want to get him to suffer an injury, but he will put his head down and run if he sees that opportunity. And the defense is really stellar. So let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. If you want to send me out, I'll go cover that for a BDST.
Yeah. Send you out to San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm happy to go.
I have no interest in the game whatsoever. I have less than zero interest in that game whatsoever. Like, I doubt I even watched the game.
Why?
Oh, my team didn't make it. I don't care like either one of the teams.
Rick.
It doesn't matter to me anymore. I've aged beyond my jadedness has aged me beyond caring. I don't.
Well,
I hate the musical choices. I hate what they're doing. But you just
ignore that, or you watch the Puppy Bowl.
No.
You don't like that? Oh my goodness! No. I always watch this. I don't really care who's playing.
I don't care.
As you know, I don't really have a team, but I have players I like, and I would choose a team to go for. So of course I'll be going for New England because of Drake. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and I will watch. But I don't just watch football though, just for football. Like, for example, after
the commercials suck too. You can't say commercials.
After the AFC game was over, I would have been done. But my husband, he wants to flip over. He wants to, see what's going on with the NFC. But I was just like, no, I'm done. I don't really need to see anymore. So I just left him to watch by himself. So I'm not that type of person where I'll just watch football just because it's football. I have to, have some interest.
Exactly. So I don't care. I just don't care.
But I can't believe you won't watch it all. What if Drake throws 10 touchdown passes and you miss it?
If it's 28-27 with 2 minutes to go and the team behind's driving, maybe I'll turn it on.
Oh my goodness. Well, I will keep you, or will you at least follow it on your phone?
Yeah, I'll follow it on my phone, or you can text me if it's, hey, Rick, you need to go.
I will text you if Drake is about to do have the winning drive. I will text you so you can catch it, so you can be able to talk about this historic event.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, thanks for jumping on.
By
the way, I sound worse than I am. I just can't shake certain aspects of this. It's very frustrating.
You need tea.
Yeah, I started the Theraflu stuff yesterday. It actually worked.
Oh, good. Did you get the Tamiflu when you first diagnosed?
I don't know what that is. What's that?
Oh, well, you have to get that from your doctor, but it's supposed to help shorten the duration.
I didn't go to the doctor. I'm not.
So Garvey got that, and it's I guess it helps. It for the little kids, they give them the liquid, and he says it tastes bad, so it was hard to get him to take it, but he did finally take it. So
yeah, I didn't need to go to the doctor to be told, "Oh, you have the flu." Thanks, $170. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I get that, but
what did you do for your birthday?
I didn't really get to do much because I was home with my son.
No, that's true. Well, happy birthday. What are you now?
I'm hoping over the weekend we'll get to do something.
Have you even turned 30 yet? You're not even 30 yet, are you?
Yeah, I was 20. I turned 20 yesterday.
Turned 20 yesterday. Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations. All right. Well, great to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too.
Go Heels.
Drink tea.
Yeah, I've
Maybe
got some
throw
now.
in some Gatorade or something.
I've got some now. Yeah, I've got some now. So, yeah. All right, you be good, and my best to you. My best to your little boy. Tell him I'm hoping he gets better soon.
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right, be good. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
All right, be good. Here you go.
Bye-bye. You get better.
Thank you. I'm trying. That is Marva in Miami. I'm glad she's doing great. She looks great, and Marva looks great. Marva's awesome. Great family. I hate that her little boy's sick, though. Yeah, when the kid's telling him, Mom, I think I'm just going to go to bed. Ooh. Yeah, that's the sign right there. I don't think I'm not old man on the porch. I think I'm just a guy who can consciously think for himself. I'm not ruled by the hype. I'm not ruled by the social media crap. I can see things for myself and make, it's like, I understand how it comes across sometimes, but it's not a great product. I don't like what the league stands for. Many of the things the league supports and throws in your face is something that I think is wrong. The game is deteriorated. I think the quality of play is really bad. My one not viewing the Super Bowl is not going to matter at all to them. They're going to get probably 75 million viewers in this country alone, if not more. Billions across the world. They don't care whether Rick Watson's watching the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're right, Wayne. Tell me to stop shoveling snow. That would help. It would. Because you get out there in the cold air. Yeah, hey, Rodney, send me a text message, Rodney, on the text line, 391-0788. Well, here, hang on, Rodney. Let me show you right now. Brian Seigla going to join us here in a second. Rodney, there you go, brother. If you're watching, there's the T-shirt. I think they're sharp, and people have really liked them. It's got that nice mixed blend where it's not too heavy, but it's not at all like a light. Hey, let's go get a T-shirt at Old Navy. Wait a minute. It tore already, but I spent $30 on the T-shirt. Well, you're spending $20 on this one, and it's much better. So, Rodney, let me know if you can see that. That's what it looks like. There you go. All right. Well, what did I just do? Sorry, I've only been using this equipment for 4 months. You'd think I'd have it figured out by now. Hey, what's going on, Brian Seigla?
What's going on, Rick? How you doing this morning? I love working through the little live technical difficulties as we go along there. So,
yeah, by now you would think, but yeah, sometimes you're like, what do I do here? What is this contraption? And then
we've been using this thing for like 4 years, and we still have them from time to time. So you're in good company.
All right, so let me see if I can do this right here. I've got the schedule, and let's see if I can get me and you on the screen. There we go.
Magic.
So what do you think? I mean, people, I'm not going to make any predictions because I have no idea. First of all, I don't know what Tech's going to look like. Secondly, I have no idea what any of these teams have after the portal and the comings and goings. But what are your thoughts on the 2026 slate?
I'm seeing a lot of potential Friday night games, which is very interesting, but that does mean we're likely getting a decent number of primetime spots in this schedule. So that's a good thing if you go out and take care of business, which I hope we will in most of those matchups. I think considering losing a home game and the degree of travel that we have in this schedule, it's about as good as I can hope for, because you at least get a bye week between Clemson and the trip to SMU.
Yeah.
You get Stanford between SMU and Miami. most of these like marquee matchups that are mostly road games in this schedule this year are broken up with some sort of buffer to make things a little bit of an easier lift for you when it comes to those long travels. So I don't think it could have been much better, all things considered. I would have personally preferred to drop VMI instead of JMU from this schedule, but I get that I'm not making the schedule. Some of this was because we're working with other teams in the ACC, and they put another game on our schedule, so somebody had to go, and things had to kind of get worked out here or there. So I get that, you know, there was decisions that had to be made. But at the end of the day, I think this is probably about as good as we could have expected, considering the amount of travel that we have and losing the home game when SMU got added to the schedule.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a 6-6. You know, it's a 6-6 schedule now as opposed to 7-5. I think originally it was 7-5. So yeah, I mean, it's not like you look at it and go, oh my goodness, but there's so much unknown. It's almost to the point. We're talking about some of these preseason prognosticators, Brian, like Phil Steele. They have to wait till right now really to start doing their work right after the portal shuts down. Who knows? It's just so difficult now to figure out how teams might look.
Yeah, and you know, if you're thinking about just the talent and the potential of, you know, how good this Virginia Tech team could be. So if we're looking at the highest level that this Virginia Tech team could be, I mean, you could look at a team going into a Clemson matchup with no blemishes on the schedule, or you could look at a team going into Clemson matchup with 2 to 3 losses. I really don't know which way it could go.
I know Maryland was bad at the end. They kept their staff. They got a little, hey, you got one more year to prove it. Sometimes I don't know what they've done in the portal. BC had a terrible year. Pitt's always well coached. Cal has a new coaching staff. Georgia Tech doesn't have Haynes King. I mean, on the surface, you're right. It looks like it sets up pretty well on the surface. But that's why you play the games.
That's why you play the games.
So,
and I mean, we felt good about schedules in the past, and they have not gone the way we wanted them to.
That's right.
That's why I'm trying to, you know, take all of this with a grain of salt and definitely hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. You know, there's been many times people will go, that schedule, it's nothing. And then all of a sudden it becomes something in a hurry. So I'm with you.
We've seen we can't go ahead and put the one in the W column anytime we face ODU. And I know that, you know, this is probably a different situation this year than in some of the previous years. But at the same time, they're going to give you everything you want.
The only game I think you can look at and say, okay, it's not even really a game is VMI.
Yeah.
VMI game was left on there to be what it's going to be. It's a throwaway. Let's get James Franklin a gaudy victory in week 1. Hey, I mean, that's all that, but that's why that was left the way it was. So, but the rest, you really have 11 games to actually look at and try to figure out. And your point's well taken. I don't know. You know, Ricky Ronnie, let's give Ricky Ronnie a little credit. I mean, that's a program he decided to stay with. There were lots of reports that Franklin wanted him. Who knows whether any of those are really true, how far he may have pursued him, but he's built a nice little program there. He's starting to build it. He's built it in his own personality, and, you know, he knew he was going to lose his quarterback. He knew that probably after the game against Virginia Tech. I'm sure he was already planning on having to go find a new guy in the portal. So, you don't know. And the thing that, you know, you don't want to ever assume is how is your own team going to look? People are going to fall in love with the press clippings, and they're going to fall in love with, oh my God, look at these stars beside these guys put on there by people who rarely see the players play. Let's just see what it looks like when everybody comes together, right? And that's the biggest task for all these coaching staffs across the country now. We have a brand new team. We have 40% of our team we didn't see here last year. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And some of it's, you know, kind of exciting to kind of see some new blood in there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason that this team won 3 games last year, and part of it was because, especially depth of the roster was not great, but also some top end level talent was not where it needed to be position wise. So getting these new players in, especially guys that at least coming out of high school were highly touted. You know what that means, to your point, most of these guys hadn't been seen, but most of these guys had high level conversations with the teams that tend to recruit the best players. So a lot of times that ends up, making their stars a lot higher than some other guys. But I think the way the portal has shaped up and the way that the 26 class closed, you at least kind of see the vision that Franklin has. Portal wise, the idea was basically let's recalibrate the 25 and 24 classes with transfer portal talent. Most of these guys having 2 to 3 years of eligibility remaining, and the 26 classes, hey, we need top 25 talent in the building, or we're not going to get where we need to be.
I think I'm more curious about the development of the coaching staff.
Yeah,
I have a lot of questions about the people that were brought in. I think a lot of these guys weren't first choices. I think a lot of these guys were, okay, let's go see him now because somebody else said no. At least that's what I've been told. So I want to see how this all works. How does Brent Pry come back and fit in as a defensive coordinator? How does this offensive coordinator who's never done it before fit in? This quarterback coach who didn't have a lot of great success at Penn State with guys, how does he come in now with a guy he knows very well with Grunkmeyer? I'm going to be very interested to see not only the development of the players, Brian, but I want to see how this coaching staff becomes cohesive with what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. But at the same time, I think we're starting to see, some success with, we talk about Aller's development, but I think, if you look at the ACC, I think 70% of those teams would have taken an Aller on their team day in and day out, despite all the shortcomings of his career there. So, I mean, to that point, I don't know if quarterback development was necessarily awful. I think it was just middle of the road and often player dependent. Now, when we look at some of these other positions, to your point, I think there were a couple second choices. When we look at what we ended up doing at the safety and cornerback positions, I think that was a pivot when the Lamar Morgan situation didn't quite go, I think, the way this staff wanted it to go. From a probably a background check situation with everything that went down in Michigan. So you end up pivoting to a second or third choice depending on where we were in the process at that point, because we did wait probably a little bit longer on that than we probably wanted to. So probably some of the options that may have been there earlier weren't there anymore. And now you've got Coach Midget out there at safeties versus cornerbacks. Both of these guys that have been brought in for the secondary have coached both positions, so I don't think that is that pivot is necessarily problematic. I think it's more of a you've got these guys in the building, who's more comfortable with which position. All right, let's let it ride. But it's going to be interesting to see how those, I think more so not just the ability of the individual position groups, but how they kind of gel as a unit. I think that's the bigger thing. I think all of the folks that are brought in the building are talented and really good at what they do. I think, how we still got to see what he looks like calling plays every day. But I think more to that point is seeing how all these guys fit together as a cohesive unit, and whether we can that results in more wins.
And the interesting thing to me is, in the age of the portal, how do these guys come in and relate to the personalities? Do they come in, and I'm seeing this with our program at Radford. I mean, guys coming in making a lot of money, it changes that relationship. It's natural. It's not just at Tech, it's everywhere. So how are these guys ready to embrace that as a new staff going forward? It's hard. It's hard for every staff now. With all this ridiculous money that's thrown out in the pay-for-play era, how do you keep guys in line? How do you keep them on? Because there's no rules. We don't have a contract. They're not employees. So here's what you're going to get per month. You're going to get this. And I want to see how that all develops too. And I think that's the way it is across the country. It's just a different time for rosters right now.
Yeah, and I think, when you look at I guess the big thing is that when you look at Franklin historically, both pre and post portal era and all that, like, he's done a really good job with roster retention. He is definitely more of a player's coach, but he is a player's coach that demands accountability. So I think it's a give and take there. I'm hoping that plays well in as this era continues to grow. But to that point, I don't know if what we're dealing with now is sustainable.
No,
from a money perspective. Look at the Mensa situation with Duke. I mean, that's gone completely off the rails. And there's going to be some legal battles based on that, and that's going to, I think, start. Yeah, that might be the one that kind of pushes this thing towards a more true contract, true collective bargaining agreement type situation with a player and a team in the future.
So what do you guys now? Is this your assessment week? Now you took the week off. You guys are getting ready on the Boundary Corner to break all this stuff down, right?
Yeah. We're going live Wednesday night. Going to talk a little bit of schedule. Going to talk how everything wrapped up with the portal there. Obviously, we got one more in the building. I know we talked last. We were like, "Are they done?" I was like, "I think maybe one or two more." We got one more. We got another defensive end there coming from Colorado. So that was a big one. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and then start kind of. We're not going to do a full depth chart dive, but we're just going to kind of talk at a high level, kind of where we are depth wise at each position.
Have you heard they said something about trying to create some kind of press opportunity this week? Have you heard anything else? Updated that at all? I haven't heard anything here on Tuesday.
I've not heard anything yet, but I'm definitely plugged in on that. So hopefully I'll hear something pretty soon on that front.
I think they'll send a release. Usually Travis will send a release out on Tuesday when something like that happens. So
yeah,
we'll keep an eye out for that. But all right, so let peeps know where to find it. That'll be good. People will be tuned in, my friend. They want to see the reaction, what you guys come up with.
Yeah, go hit boundarycornervt.com to check out everything we do. If you want to watch the live stream, you can check it out on YouTube at Boundary Corner VT, over at X at Boundary Corner, and at Instagram at Boundary Corner VT.
All right, man. Well, we'll be watching, and great stuff as always, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
Doing good, buddy. Appreciate you, Rick. Always
Thanks,
fun
man.
jumping on with you.
It is, man. It is. Have a great cast tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. There you go. That'll be fun. Yeah, check them out tomorrow night. Everywhere. You just heard him. You can find it Instagram. They're going to put it on Twitter, X, if you will, and on their regular site. So check out Brian and the Boundary Corner. They're great. They do a great job. Mike Burnop joins us coming up at 8. Hit us up on the text line and hit us up on our chat room, in our chat room. Hey, look, I see that the sun has risen. What do we got? No, it's sure the temperature is compliant. Oh, hey, we're up to 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we have hit 4. Wow. Okay. 4. And to your point, Wayne, I will not be going out today. No outside time for me today. Because I think you're right. I think I've messed up. But I've had to get it. There's nobody else to do it. I doubt Mike has been sleigh riding. I wonder when Mike got back from Louisville. Why changing that game an hour? Will they move it from 3:15 to 2 o'clock on Saturday? Never let it be said that the ACC didn't do as little as it could possibly do to help a situation. And I know Mike, if it's single digits, he is not sleigh riding. But he may surprise us. We'll find out. We'll find out. Try some Golden Voice tea by a company called Health King. See, I'm not a warm drink guy. I will drink hot chocolate sometimes, but I don't like warm tea. You already know my stance on coffee. I will say the Theraflu stuff helped. I mean, Rick Watson's sitting around on a Monday drinking honey and lemon Theraflu. I felt like I was at Panera, Wayne. Order a DoorDash Panera if that helps. Well, you know one thing, if you DoorDash, they'll get here because I got the driveway cleaned off. Much to my demise. Yeah, thanks for me. Yeah, Brian's great. They do a great job. Boundary Corner is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And if you are a tech fan, Full Throttle, they will have you covered. Brian says bourbon with a little honey or just skip the honey. Yeah, that's what Jen kept saying. Bourbon? You're going to drink some bourbon? I don't have any. What was funny, by the way, from last week's Attorney Ryan Pry BDST fan question of the week, of the items that you would get at the grocery store before a storm, alcohol was involved in like 95% of the answers. Bunch of damn drunks. Some rock hard French bread and some bean soup. Boy, that'll get you feeling better. Here's my whole stance on soup. I don't like my food swimming in other liquid. I'll have to try that, TLB. Thank you. I have never heard of it. Is that in the tea section? Or is that in the coffee section? I'm guessing it's in the whole area there. Yeah, I'll eat chili. Yeah, I like chili. Certain types of chili. No beans. I don't like chili. I like hot dog chili. But yeah, chili's fun. Chili's fun. My dad used to make some really good chili. People would really like his chili. Somebody's not getting chunky soup endorsements. Well, if it was going to be a soup, it would be the chunky soup. Except I think any chunky soup in, commercial with me would be kind of exaggerated, right? Like, used to bring the spoon out and they'd load it up with the vegetables and the piece of meat or whatever. Mine would be like with a spatula or one of those big stirring spoons or forks, and the piece of meat would be about that big. Yeah, boy. Super chunky soup. It's like I'm having a ribeye. But I know one thing, which I think is really cool, just like people who take pride in what they do, like tech tailgates when they're got their smokers out and they come up with all these amazing creations. It's really cool, too, when people are making chili and they're really into it. Those are awesome. A nice Caesar salad will clear the system. Will it? Or will it make you go, boy, I just wasted my time eating a nice Caesar salad? Let's see. I've been dealing with this flu bug for a week now. I think I'll have a nice salad. What's been frustrating about this? I rarely, if ever, get sick. Those of you that have listened to the program over the years can attest to that. So this thing has just come out of left field, man. But I'll tell you, Friday, when I got home from the RU game, I have seldom felt worse in my life that I could remember. Got through the broadcast, and it has just been. So maybe it's a good thing that I am traveling alone on Thursday for Radford this weekend. And then nobody else has to be around me trying to get over the last remnants of this. It's going to be difficult, but I'll do what I can. The show must go on. And I always show up. For good or bad, I always show up. Thunder said, I said the same thing about never getting sick before open heart surgery. Oops. Kiss of death, right? The kiss of death. TLB, what is in your homemade gumbo, TLB? Like I like people when they start talking about their creations, food-wise. It's cool. What else is cool is family fencing. Jason Green, sponsor of our studio. They give me a free quote. Give them a call. I know it's hard to think about springtime right now, but National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner, BDST. Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated, commercial, residential garage door, sponsor of our text line. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. They just signed a new deal with the IHRA drag racing. I'm going to try to get Jonathan on tomorrow. Jonathan, if you're watching. Ready Set Fund, readysetfund.com. bobchrist11@gmail.com. They will set up text message accounts for you to raise money for your team. Professional Door Incorporated, residential commercial garage doors, family and operated for 38 years. I just mentioned them. The attorney, Ryan Pry, 701 West Main Street, Trust and Estate Planning, BDST fan question of the week. Charles Lee. Travis Lee is an old friend of mine. Charles Lee, Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Give them a call, 540-553-2971. And, of course, Pulaski County Sports Entertainment, as we mentioned. The presenting sponsor. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 540-381-8011. And go get it done at the NRV Super Bowl. Hang on. I want to make sure I get all this right with the Super Bowl. So they have Super Bowl Sunday, the 8th of February, game time at the Super Bowl. They'll have the game on all their big screens, and you can sit there and bowl $100 per lane, up to 8 bowlers. 382-5525. That's a great idea. We were going to be there for our meetup, and then, of course, the dreaded storm happened. And then once the dreaded storm happened, we're just – but that's pretty cool. Very, very cool. Move that back. There we go. Duke in town Saturday, nooner. Okay, I'll be on the road. If all goes well, I'll be in Clinton, South Carolina. Radford plays Presbyterian at 2. Prometheus says, I was told never eat gumbo from anyone that's not from Louisiana. Most important ingredient, TLB says, is the roux, shrimp, chicken, smoked sausage. Yes, have some. Bell pepper, onion, celery, and a seasoning called gumbo filet. All right. I think you should go for it. My dad loved peppers of all kinds. Dad he could eat anything hot. It's not because they're hot. I'm not big into peppers. I like them as kind of like a cooking aid sometimes, maybe. Something like that. But I've always been fascinated by the creations of food and recipes and where they came from. Like, if my life would have taken a different path, I could have seen me being interested in at some point being a chef. I just think it's cool. And I really liked the old, not now, but back, I don't watch it now at all, but back the old Food Network shows. Those were cool. You learned a lot, but now it's become just overproduced crap. All these reality shows. Thank you, chef. Bite into a Carolina Reaper. That will clear things up. Working 925 says my wife is really growing as a person. Coincidentally, so is the credit card bill from all of her self-discovery workshops. That's pretty funny. And that's good, TLB. You got people asking for your gumbo. That means you're doing a good job. It's like I have people that ask me to make a mistake. Nothing special, just, And I think that's probably it, by the way. There's nothing special. Like, you just make it the right way and people appreciate it. Do you see where advertising's now going to be allowed on the college football jerseys next year? I don't know if that is going to be program oriented or is it going to be individual part of pay for play? I don't know. Rick's Cook It Yourself Steakhouse. Yeah, you don't need to overthink steak, and I think people do that a lot. I mean, steak is already steak. It's like if you're spending a Saturday night with Selma Hayek, and then you get there and you're more concerned, well, should she have worn that dress? I'm not sure I like the way she parted her hair. You already have Selma Hayek. You're in a pretty good spot. You already have a sizzling, medium rare, perfectly cooked ribeye. You're in a pretty good spot. You don't need to overthink it. Tech signed up with Turkey Bacon Company for advertising. When was that working? When was Coke on a jersey? I know they've never been on uniforms before, at least from an NCAA allowance, but what were they going to do? Were they going to stop it? It was inevitable. They've been doing it, in soccer, international baseball for how long? Didn't some of the European football leagues? Oh, not that Coke. Oh, I got you. Well, point well taken. You mean the other. Yeah, just ask Lawrence Taylor. Prometheus been cooking chicken thighs lately. Really? Okay. What's your specialty there, Prometheus? Let us know. What do you do? See, this is the kind of cool stuff that I learned. Like a good chicken thigh. Absolutely. Missed opportunity if we don't have wild turkey on the jersey. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Coach Beamer's favorite adult beverage. That would have been great, wouldn't it? To have him as spokesman if the rules were in place then as they are now. Man, here I go. Now, this is going to play into Wayne's point earlier, sounding like the old guy. But no, I don't mean it that way. Just think how things were different the first run of the show when we were an afternoon show. Ron Walton owned the stations when radio was done right in this area as opposed to now. Local radio in particular. There's nothing local radio that's worth a damn. And going in to do the show and seeing Coach Beamer down at Kroger and, hey, Coach, what's going on? Hey, Rick, what? You headed to do the show? Yeah, man, I'm going in. You know, we started at 3. It was 3 to 6. Hey, come by, man, if you want. Sit you in the studio. And he said, yeah, well, sure, old kids are out of town. You know, I'm not really doing much, just trying to get stuff for the weekend. I might do that. I said, yeah, you know where it is up here. Oh, yeah, I've been there. You know, because he used to come up and sit in studios. And then 20 minutes later, here comes Coach Beamer. And he sat in the studio, and we opened up the phone lines, and we just had him on the rest of the show. And he just sat there, and I'm thinking, wow. I used to go over to do interviews with him, and you'd get there early, and his secretary would tell you, hey, Rick, what's going on? Coach, I think he just stepped out. Just go in there and sit in just go in there and just wait for him. Just go and sit in his office. You imagine trying to do something like that today? TLB says, why hasn't medical science advanced to where everyone could keep a steer, carve off a steak in there, and simply apply salve and a bandage? Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Prometheus says he bakes in a casserole dish. All right, good. Here's his chicken thigh recipe. And I use Kinder's garlic, or is it Kinder's? And ginger marinade. Okay. Bake on 350 for 45 minutes, then broil for a nice char. All right, see? That's good. Sounds good. By the way, Martin Rags on Thursday before I make the long drive to Charleston. Sorry again about the cough, but it is what it is. The thing about it, what you're hearing this morning is not nearly as bad as it has been. Oh, wow. Prometheus, are you kidding me right now? Is that that's the post? Yes, have some. Look at this. Can y'all see that? Look at that. Now, there we go. That's a man that knows his way around a bird. I shared that, Prometheus. I hope you don't mind. That looks great, man. Yummy. Wow. Well done. Well done. Well, you saw the results of it right there. So Steve and Trent saying, hey, next time you make a steak, will you take a pic? Yeah, I will. I haven't done that. I should do that. It's not necessarily grilling weather. I mean, you can always pull it inside, but I will. I'll do that. Look. It's not anything. A little Worcestershire sauce. You don't need to soak it in a bag for 3 hours, 4 hours. A lot of people do that. The Montreal steak seasoning is very good. And just a smidge, a little bit of butter. I'll make you a steak. And you just tell me if you like it or not. It's not like it's rocket science. It's not this moment where you're trying to mess with it and mess with it. And then you're done. And that's all you need. $8 for that meal that Prometheus just showed. What do you have as a side, Prometheus? Potatoes look like that looks like that'd be good with potatoes. Some kind of potato. It depends on the thickness of the cut, Wayne. But yes, don't listen to anybody who tells you that you don't have to turn a steak. If they're telling you that you don't have to turn a steak, they're doing it wrong. Yeah, potatoes and stuffing. That sounds good. All right, so we're going to eat chicken with Prometheus whenever he's ready. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. And depending on the fattiness of the steak you're cooking, you can see when it's, you can see, sorry. You can see when it's getting close to time to pull off the grill. Like you don't need to cut into it and all that. But I know I was just at someone's place recently and they were making steak. And by the time I got there, they'd already overcooked all of it. And then you try to be nice. Oh, great. Jason from Family Fencing says smoked meatloaf. Really? Okay. This is cool, man. I'm always willing to learn and try new ways to prepare meats. It's cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, we do need a food sponsor. We need a restaurant indoor food sponsor. We need the, what was the old commercial? Beef. It's what's for dinner. That's what we need. I know, Morris. Morris, you're right. Now he's got us all hungry. Yeah, exactly. You turn it until you have it cooked to the way that you prefer. I've had people insist that you don't need to turn it. And I'm like, well, no. Bacon wrapped cheese stuffed meatloaf from Steven. Really? Okay, sure. Jason just said, excuse me, smoked meatloaf. So that's awesome. think everybody's getting hungry now. Hey, it's sports and it's food. And that's what everything is, sports and food. Food and sports goes hand in hand. Why do you think tailgating became such a gigantic industry in itself? And that used to always fascinate me when we used to do the tailgate shows over there. And just seeing the smells first and foremost. And how much preparedness people would use for their smokers, for every aspect of it, and how it turned into this major setup, and then how good everything was. Just crazy. And sometimes people will be nice enough to bring you some, or you could wander through the parking lot after. I remember, I don't know if he's in here today, Jim McAllister, who's now retired, used to always bring us food during the tailgate, and he would have so many cool concoctions. Jim, I don't know if you're in here or not today. But that's cool. It's cool to see so many people sharing their recipes. I mean, it's football Saturdays and food, right? And beverages. I mean, it becomes a mini vacation. And I think that's another reason why fans are not going to turn away from college football despite everything that's going on, is that it kind of becomes a mini vacation, doesn't it? And you spend your whole week getting ready. You probably, if you're out of town a certain distance, you're leaving on Thursday to get here, stay Friday. And then you get over there, however early they open it up. And then you're ready to go. Yeah, Big Al. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Big Al. I don't know if Big Al's still around. Yeah, Big Al always did something, still does stuff cool. Think about that guy. Big Al's done this for what? I don't know how long Big Al's done this. Almost 400 games worth of Big Al and his tailgates. So, yeah, pretty cool, man. So kudos to everybody. Because I know our next guest, when you're talking about buffet buddies and food, it's that guy, Mike Burnop. What's up, Mike? Good morning.
Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Doing all right. We're just having people share their food recipes and talking about how much food goes with college football, man.
Yeah, that's true. Those tailgates are pretty good, and post games pretty good. That's generally it's a feast.
It is a feast. Let's say, Mike, you weren't doing games for 43 years, and you were there as a fan. What do you think your go-to tailgate would be? The very first one you would do?
I'd go to some of my friends. They tell me about these tailgates that they have, and they're taking stuff out there, and they're making all kinds of like seafood things and barbecue things and steak things and cooking popcorn on the grill. And I mean, it's like, dude, I want to come out and see you. And one time I went out there, we were filming. I think I might have told you the story way back. We were out there filming and in the parking lot, and went by a tailgate, and this guy had a blender out there, and the blender was hooked up to a Briggs and Stratton lawnmower motor. I mean, he pulled that thing. You talk about cooking a fast blender now. You could blend yourself up a daggone daiquiri pretty daggone fast. I mean,
really?
He cranked that thing up, one pull. That 10 seconds later, there's your frozen drink, brother. I mean, people get creative at these tailgates.
I know, man. It's so cool. Wasn't there one story? Sorry, I'm getting over the flu here. It was you and Zach. You had to park somewhere differently, and you had to walk through a bunch of tailgates, and everybody was giving you food. When was that? Was that right? Didn't I remember you telling me that?
That's happened before, yeah, but it's been a while. I don't know if it was Zach. It might have been somebody else, but yeah, we got parked way back in the boondocks, and might have been, gosh, I can't remember how many years ago that was, but yeah, hey, come here, get a sample this, sample that. By the time we got up to the booth, it was like, oh, we're on the air in like 20 minutes, guys.
And you're like, I need a nap.
Yeah. Wish you could have partook in some of the cold beverages.
That's right. Yeah, well, that's true. Well, sometimes you can if you just, do it the right way.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Thanks to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker Team Long and Foster Realtors. Mike, let's talk about you and your trip. How in the world did that go, man? I was thinking about you at Syracuse, and then they stayed out. You had to come back, go to Louisville. What in the world did you guys face getting back on Saturday?
Well, let me just put it to you this way. Make a long story short, I got back last night at like 7.
Lord.
From the Saturday afternoon game. I have a new name, Rick. Just call me Gilligan for a 3-hour tour. I mean, we fly back up there to Louisville on Friday. Get there, it was no problem getting there, and had everything going okay. Stayed at the Galt House, which is right there next to the Yum Center. So we go over there Saturday, and the women are playing before us because they moved their game up from Sunday. So they tipped off at 11 a.m., so we couldn't even get set up because they were in our spot. So we had to wait for that game to be over. So then we're setting up, scrambling, getting everything set up. And we called the game. Bad first half, scored, I think, 22 points. And then scored 49 in the second half. It was like a tale of two halves.
Yeah.
We lose the game. And then after the game, it's like my flights just start getting canceled. And then they rebook you. And then they cancel. And they rebook and cancel, rebook, cancel. So, I mean, I went through that for like 5 trips, something like that. Yeah, I had to extend my stay. And, yeah, so I mean, it was a pain in the butt. So I finally got home last night. I finally got out of Louisville yesterday. They canceled the 6 a.m. flight I had yesterday morning. They canceled the noon flight. I got on the 1:15. Finally got to Charlotte, and I said, if I can't get back to Roanoke, I'm just going to rent a car and go.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to do in Louisville if they had canceled that 1 o'clock flight. I was just going to drive back.
Yeah, sure.
So the flight finally went off, got back, and actually jumped on an earlier flight. So I did get back an hour, maybe an hour and a half earlier than I would have. So yeah, it was fun. Fun getting the ice off the car. That was fun.
Oh, I bet it was. Yeah.
I love that. They cleaned the parking lot and they pulled all the snow in front of your car or the back of the car.
Always.
But they can't do with so much, I guess.
Did you get to enjoy anything in Louisville while you waited?
We had some good meals. The food at the hotel was fabulous. The Galt House is a really good place, great food, and it was really, really good. Got to watch both football games. Felt bad for your Broncos. I think if Bo Nix is playing, they might win that game, right?
They'd have won the game, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that was tough.
And I didn't like not taking points on that second drive. It just bugs me. Coaches just scheme. You got a backup quarterback. They're on the road. Your defense is playing great. Weather's coming. You should have went up 10-0. I know. It just bothers me. It still bothers me.
Yep, I felt the same way, man. Take the points. That was a long 4th down. And, you got a backup quarterback. And, man, that thing did get nasty in the second half.
Oh.
I mean, how many field goals were missed in that game? Like 4 or something?
Yeah, 4 in all. Something like that, yeah.
Good.
3 by the Broncos, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was nasty weather. So
it was bad. It was bad. Yeah.
That's where you wonder sometime if, like, do you maybe you think down the road somewhere in our lifetime, Rick, every stadium will be indoors that are up north?
It kind of starts trending that way now with the new designs, isn't it? The retractable roofs now even. Yeah.
I mean, it's like those games in Buffalo and the Denvers of the world that we were playing in the middle of January, boy, that's difficult. And for both teams. But if you're a team in the South coming up, that's even worse. It's like, man, oh, man.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't like it. Well, maybe they can do indoor. As long as they keep grass involved, they could keep a roof or something that grass can still, like they do in Vegas, right? With the Raiders stadium, that's grass. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer there. That's the thing.
That's
I don't
true.
know. The new stadium in Buffalo, is that going to be a retractable roof or not? I forget.
I don't know if it's retractable or not. Yeah, it's got a big old dome on it.
Open. Yeah, they've kind of got that home field advantage up there with that weather.
I know.
I can remember going up there, Rick. I was telling somebody the other day when I went up there for training camp with Buffalo Bills in May. It was like after the draft, and they brought everybody in just for like a 3-day weekend, like an HBA almost. We were there. We were at Rich Stadium, and they still had snow in the stands in May. Like, okay.
Wow. It never leaves. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
Just like Louise Baker, by the way. Thanks to Louise Baker, Team Long and Foster Realtors. Well, let's talk about the results. You go to Syracuse, a place Tech hasn't had a lot of success, Mike, and they played a great second half, able to win that game. And Louisville didn't go so well. They got behind by halftime. Louisville's really good, but what were your thoughts watching those two games last week?
The first half against Syracuse, it looks like they had no sense of urgency. They just kind of came out there, just didn't have the energy that you needed to have. And I thought when they made some adjustments and came out in the second half, played well. They got after them, made some shots, and defended very, very well. And Syracuse has had some trouble in the second half of some of their games. So I thought that was a good win for them. They had to hang on at the end, though. They had a couple bad turnovers at the end, but they stood up there and made some really good free throws. And I thought the play of the game might have been when Ben Hammond got fouled and made that 3-point play near the end of the game. And then I think Neo missed a free throw, and Toby got the offensive rebound and was able to get the foul shot to go. So that was huge. And then, you go to Louisville, and just the first half was just, Michael Brown was back, and, that was a big thing. He hadn't played since December, and, he's a heck of a player and going to be a top draft pick.
Yeah.
And, the Hokies didn't play good in the first half either there, and kind of got behind and didn't fight through the ball screens and didn't get the ball through the post. And, the second half, they came out and just shot the lights out from beyond the arc. At one point, I think they were 7 of 8, 7 of 9 beyond the arc, scored 49 points, but it was, kind of too little too late. And that's a hard place to win anyway.
Yeah.
But Louisville's got a really good team. And, it was unfortunate for them last night. They couldn't travel because of the weather, too. They had to go to Duke and play that big Monday game when they had to leave Monday to go out there on Monday morning. So they're flying out day of the game to play that game. But it kind of goes to show you, too, how good Duke is.
Yeah.
That team is that good. You talk about a handful Saturday now. Hokies got Georgia Tech tonight at 8, and but Duke on Saturday. That makes tonight's game, boy. You better win tonight for sure, because you're going to have your hands full Saturday with Duke.
Yeah, and you're right. Louisville had a lot of disadvantages, but you win that game by 30. That blew me away a little bit, seeing that result.
Yeah, they're good. Duke is good. They got I don't see a weakness on that team. You got those two Boozers and Evans. You got the height. You got 3 big guys inside. I mean, they can play now, and I think people underrate their defense. We know they're good on offense, but their defense just shut down Louisville.
Yeah. How close is Johnson ready to come back now? Will he be there tonight, you think? Ready to go?
I don't think so. I think the last time I talked to him, they said it may not be. They may wait and hold him out after the Duke game, because the Hokies got that open week, and then they don't play again until the next Saturday. And I think that may be what the timeline is now. I haven't heard for a fact, obviously, since I've been out of town for a few days for a 3-hour broadcast. So we'll see.
Well, I hope he's back this week. And Georgia Tech's a team. Georgia Tech's not terrible, but it's a game. It kind of feels like the Notre Dame game. It's a game Tech at home should be able to handle tonight.
Yeah, you got to win this game. I mean, they're 11-9. I think they're 2-5 in the league. It's one of those games that you got to protect your home court. When the Hokies lost to Stanford at home, that means you got to steal one on the road, and they were able to get the one at Syracuse. It's going to be difficult, against Duke, to say the least. And then, this season's winding down fast, Rick.
I know.
It's amazing how quick it's been. And, you look up, and there's not that many home games left, and got a few road ones that you're going to have to win. But you got to protect that home court and try to steal a couple on the road if you're going to try to go the big dance. You know that.
And February seems to go by the fastest of all. Here we are getting ready to turn the corner because it's a short month anyway. And by the end, you're going, wow, here we are. It's tournament time. It's crazy. It is crazy how quickly it goes.
Yeah. And at the end of it, you got to go play UVA on the road. That's one's going to be a tough one. And NC State and Clemson, they're going to be difficult, obviously. And so, yeah, it's you got to take care of business tonight for sure if you have those aspirations to go play. And it's an 8:00 game tonight, a little bit later, and hope to see Louise across the way. That'd be good. It's the weather. Boy, it's nasty, but
I know.
So
yeah,
cool.
she braves it out though. Maybe she'll be there.
She's a tough cookie. There's no doubt.
There is no doubt. All right, Mike. Well, let's look at it here. It came out, and people are very excited. And here you go. The Tech football schedule. Your initial thoughts as you look at that here, and it's hard to know. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. They've been asking me for predictions. I'm like, first of all, we don't know what the Hokies might look like yet. Let's wait, and we have no idea, or at least I don't, what many of these teams are going to look like yet, right?
No, there's so many different players and new players on every team. You just have no idea what it's going to look like. And I think when you look at it, it's kind of interesting that you may have 3 Friday games. I mean, that's kind of unheard of. No Thursdays, but possibly 3 Fridays. And the way I say possible because of that SMU game is on the slide Friday or Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
But the travel is the brutal part of it, Rick. When you look at the travel of it, you couldn't go much farther, right? You're going to Boston College, you're going to Cal, you're going to Miami, you're going to got Clemson on the road, and SMU. I mean, it's like you couldn't go much farther from north to south to all the way to the west and halfway between two. I mean, that's a difficult schedule to say the least. And at least you got Virginia at home at the end of the season. You got a couple home games to start the year, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, starting the ACC at Boston College, they certainly struggled last year. So it is what it is, and that's the way it is with this unbalanced schedule. This 9-game thing. It's just so odd when some of them are playing 9 and some of them are playing 8. And some of them have 5 at home, some of them have 4 at home. It's just not a perfect schedule for anybody, I guess.
No, it's not. And really the only one you look at and you think is probably going to be okay is that first one against VMI. But I just want to wait. I don't know exactly what everybody else has done out of the portal. I mean, Maryland was bad last year. They lost their last 8. BC was bad. But what have they done? I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
And Old Dominion. Yeah, and Old Dominion was good. And what did they lose? How many guys did they lose too?
Right.
So
right.
You just don't know. And Cal, that quarterback did come back, which was kind of a shocker that somebody didn't pay him $2. But Seigla Pulutelli, I mean, he's going to be tough on the road, obviously. And, Georgia Tech is you got the Mendoza kid now, right? How good is he going to be with Haynes King finally gone, graduated? But, yeah, you just never know what teams are going to have. But obviously the league, I think, was better than people thought last year. And the Hokies obviously struggled. But I think with James Franklin, new players and new system, it's going to be fun to watch them develop.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of programs are going through right now, right? You just don't know what things are going to look like, how things are going to get acclimated, and we'll wait and see. I know a lot of people are throwing out predictions. Good luck with that. It'll change every week, depending on how it goes.
That's like all these people that think they know everything, and they come out with these predictions of records and who's going to win the league, and sometimes they're so far off. It's like, what are you looking at, or what are you thinking? I mean, I guess it's great for chatter and fodder and to make waves, but and most of the time they don't come out. They're not too close.
Well, that's right.
Look at the NFL. Who had those 2 teams playing in the Super Bowl, right?
Nobody, right?
Seattle and New England. I mean,
right.
Come on, like crazy stuff. You never know.
I mean, Mike Vrabel, but boy, people in Tennessee must be like, right? You fire Mike Vrabel year 1, he's going to the Super Bowl. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and Drake May quarterbacking, and Sam Darnold coming along. I mean,
I know.
It's a good story, kind of like Indiana.
Yeah, it is. It is. And here they are already losing one of their stalwarts to the portal. I saw that. They're not immune to it either. Guys are moving. You got this situation at Duke with Mensa. I mean, Mike, this thing, and then Rutgers announces there's $78 million in debt. I mean, what this whole thing, when's it? It's going to collapse. I don't know when, but it's going to.
It's not sustainable. There's no way. People talk about, well, it's like the NFL model. Well, right now it's more like Major League Baseball, right? It's like the ones who got the most money, you just buy the best teams because there's no sideline, no boardwalk, no nothing to go on. I mean, it's like you do whatever you want, the Wild West. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy. They need to make some changes and fix the rules, but I'm kind of glad they stayed with 12 teams. Just let it go for another year, see what happens with it. But yeah, it's kind of a hot mess out there right now, and you just don't know. That thing with Duke and Miami, and Miami, Manny Diaz was coaching down there. I mean, the whole thing has just got so many subplots. It's just like it's dirty.
It does. It feels dirty is a good word. The whole thing feels dirty, and it almost feels like the Big Ten, the SEC already know what's going to happen in the future, right? Because they're controlling everything, and nobody else does yet. It just kind of feels that way, and the networks and everything else. I don't know.
Yeah. I was thinking about that game, all the stuff you think about when you're got time on your hands, but like in that Indiana game, I was thinking about that. I meant to tell you last week, the happiest dude on that field for Indiana might have been the guy that flinched when they had second down and like 1. Remember right there at the end of the game, 2nd and 1, and all they had to do is get that first down and the game was over. And that guy flinched. They get a false start penalty. They go back, and then they end up having to kick that field goal, which made it a 6-point game. And I thought, that dude is probably the happiest guy on that field.
That's true.
They didn't come back and score 7 points and lose it by 1 point because he flinched when all they had to do was get 1 yard on 3 downs.
Right. And he could have left it. He left it wide open for him, for Carson Beck, and he couldn't get it done. That's true.
No, just didn't end well for him.
No, it did not. It did not. What time's their time tonight? You guys going at 7:30?
7:30. Yeah, you guys playing tomorrow night?
No, it's the big travel week for us. I'll be in South Carolina. We have 2 games. We have Charleston, CSU on Thursday, and then Presbyterian on Saturday. So it's a Charleston-Clinton connection this weekend. So a lot of driving.
You going back and forth, huh?
I got to figure it out. Yeah, I might be. Jen lives in Columbia, and she's going to be out of town. So she said I could crash at her place. It's kind of my hub. It's kind of the halfway between Charleston and Clinton, so I might do that. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
You got your game in last week, so that was good for the weather.
Yeah, got it in except for the result. High Point's pretty good.
The biggest bummer for me was missing the sleigh riding because it was like primo, man. I went out there yesterday in my front yard just trying to get to my front door, and it was like, oh, this would have been great sleigh riding. And what am I doing? I'm in a hotel in Louisville.
I know. What's funny, too, a lot of people in chat have been asking about your sleigh riding. Have you been able to do it yet?
Man, that was prime snow right there. I could have been out there having a big old time. But didn't work out just because we're on the road. So next time maybe we'll be home when it gets the snow, or at least I'll get back. I was supposed to come back Saturday night on a flight out of Louisville. And, the crazy thing is the weather wasn't that bad after the game that you would have thought that the flight could have got to Charlotte. But I thought if it gets to Charlotte, I'll just rent a car. But
sure.
Nah, they canceled everything.
Mm. Well, we're glad you got back. Yeah, at least you don't have to travel this week, so that's good. That's good.
That's true. Yeah, we got 2 home games, which will be good, and anxious to see how things are going with the winter workouts for the guys over there, and how they're going to start pumping spring game to try to fill the stadium up, and just hope we'll have great weather for that April 18th date. But that's going to be exciting. And talking about some tailgating now, they'll be tailgating early that day. That'll be a fun time, especially if the weather's good and so much goes around. You got spring sports going on, and I'm not sure if softball, baseball play that time, and but it's always a great weekend with the run for remembrance and all that stuff.
It will be, and you're right. The excitement will be big. I don't know if they'll sell it out, but I think it's going to be one of the bigger crowds that's been over there in many, many years. Don't you? For spring game.
Yeah, I do. I think just because of the excitement of, what's it going to look like, and I think he'll do what he can to pub it and try to get as many people there, so that, like he talked about it, give our kids the experience of being in front of people for the first time instead of coming out against your first game and having that happen, and get the coaches in the press box and the communication to the field and all those things that you just take for granted, right? That, everything's going to work fine. Well, you better make sure it does.
Yeah.
When the place is full. And that's what they'll certainly have a dry run for that, which would be good. So, yeah, be good. How long have you been sick, Rick? You got a little cold, huh?
Yeah, the flu kicked in. It was probably last Thursday it really started to hit. And then Friday when I got home from the game, man, I had a temperature of 103. I was wiped out Friday, Saturday.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Sunday. So, but still had to shovel the driveway because there's nobody else to do it. So I'm out there, but because you had to do it before this really cold weather came, but then you're in Antarctica at that point, right? You can't get the shovel to get it under, you have to chip it all the time. So
that's me. That was me last night, just trying to get in over top the snow.
Yeah.
The plow, they plow up on the edge of the driveway.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. They think they're helping, but they're not. They're not helping.
12 degrees, hard as a rock. You're not going to move that stuff.
No, big old chunks, but the size of boulders. You're like, okay, that's great. That's great.
Like sledgehammer. You get your sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But you know how it is. I don't really feel as bad, but you still have the stuff with it. So
you're on the rebound, so that's good.
On the rebound for the big travel weekend. Yeah. And thanks as always to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors, 540-302-0382. Well, Mike, listen, have a great call. I'm glad you got back, man. I'm sorry for the hassle. I know that's just I wondered how bad it was, and sure enough, it was the worst scenario is what it sounds like. So
it wasn't good, but we got back in one piece, so that's all that counts. And at least got a couple home games this week, and just get back in the groove here because it'll be over before you know it. Or like you said, we're almost turning the page to February, man. That's a short month.
Do you think, real quick, Mike, because people are asking, does Tech still have work to do to assure themselves in pretty good standing with the tournament, or do you think their resume is pretty strong right now? What do you think?
Nah, you got a lot of work to do. I mean, there's so many games left, Rick. You can't go on a losing streak or, have a tough end of the season. You'll get left by. They'll pass you right by. So, yeah, you got to take care of your business at home and try to get a couple on the road, and you need to get that win total up to about 20, 21, something like that to be safe. And so, yeah, they got work to do. There's no doubt about it. And they're going to have some opportunities, against teams like the Dukes and the NC States and Clemson's and, Miami and UVA on the road. I mean, yeah, it's going to be difficult, but they're going to have some opportunities for sure.
Man, if they could have just been healthy.
Yeah, and getting Tyler back will help.
Yeah.
That'll make a huge difference because you think about all these games we lost 2-3 points. He's worth 7 or 8 points, 10 points, 15 points, and 6-7 rebounds. So, yeah, getting him back will be a key.
I mean, Louisville was really the only game they haven't been in with all these injuries, right? They've had chances. I mean, it shows you how well they played as shorthanded as they've been.
Yeah. So, and then they came back and scored 49 on them.
Right.
It was like, whoa. Where was that in the first half?
I know.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch, and they understand. I think they get the big picture, so we'll see.
Well, have a great call tonight, my friend. We'll be tuned in, and
all right, Rick.
I'm glad you're grounded for a while.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. You hang in there and safe travels this week.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Michael.
All right, Rick. See you.
All right, man. There you go. Mike Burnop, whose appearance brought to you, of course, by Louise Baker. Thanks, Louise. Louise Baker, Team Long and Foster, 540-320-0382. Don't forget Marty and Rags on Thursday. That's been confirmed, so we're looking forward to that. They will be outstanding and funny and great as always. So that'll be Thursday, and we look forward to that, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Thanks to everyone today. You were great. Thanks for putting up with me. I'm sorry about the hacking. Thanks to Lawson's Bubble Home Supply, the NRB Super Bowl, Brandon at Top Shelf. Thanks to the Ready Set Fund and Bob Christ. Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated. You're the best. National Bank member FDIC. Exclusive banking partner BDST. The attorney Ryan Pry, 701 West Main Street in Radford, sponsor of our BDST question of the week. Little River Heating and Air. That's the only people we should call for your heating needs this time of year. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. I'm hoping to get Jonathan on tomorrow. We'll keep you updated. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, right off of Pepper Ferry Road. It's actually 156 Walters Drive. And Jason and all the folks at Family Fencing Studios for sponsoring our studio. Thank you. Everybody's craving food now. Thanks, chat. Great job. You got everybody hungry. All the steak talk has me craving a ribeye, but I have smoked sausage and sauerkraut in the fridge. So everybody's going to have to eat first. Well, I know for me, it worked out. I don't have to go outside today. All the shoveling's done. By the way, you're not going to get any shoveling done now when it's this cold. Everything's frozen. So kudos again. I don't know how many of them have time to actually tune in, but spread the word and let them know how much we appreciate everybody, whether it's VDOT, anybody who was helping out with the roads. I had people going around. I saw people going around just good-natured, not even charging people, shoveling out driveways. But kudos to the road crews. Did an outstanding job. I had to go out a couple times yesterday, and the main roads were basically, okay. Just incredible work by all those people. You're amazing. And I hope everybody can stay warm. If you don't have to go out, don't. It is, it's nasty when you've got a -2 wind chill. That's not weather you want to go out and say, hey, let's do some jump roping. No. But in any event, thanks again to everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow will be the Hump Day Wednesday edition, and we'll keep you updated on the guest list tomorrow. I know Keon will be here, and Damian Sordelet, maybe Teal, and then maybe Jonathan Sweet. All right, everybody. Sorry again for the hacking. We'll hopefully be a little further beyond that today as the day goes on. Stay safe. Spread the word. Subscribe, like, share the channel. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Wednesday edition of the program. All right? We're going to get through this long week together. We will. Cold weather outside, but it's always very warm in our hearts for one another here. All right, everybody, be good. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.